Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today we're going to take a look at the Yoichi single malt peated Japanese whiskey from Nikka. 45% ABV. Did I say that correctly, Dustin?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Recently came with an age statement single malt, did they not?
They brought it back. So there used to be a 15 that was, those go for thousands of dollars now. Like, you're going to spend a fortune to get those.
Peated Japanese whiskey, not cheap.
No. And so now they brought, I think, a 12 but just came out recently for about $130. I think it's retail, but good luck getting one for less than $200-300. I haven't seen one.
Yeah, this is an NAS. Well, you've had for a while, Dustin. We're bringing you kind of the end of it here.
Yeah. Just kind of wanted to bring it because there's an age statement coming out. This is not top shelf whiskey by any stretch, but
I always like Japanese whiskeys.
Everybody's excited to know more about Japanese.
Agreed. Japanese will do a lot of peat in their whiskeys. I still have the Kushus. Those are always
I love that whiskey.
Great whiskeys, but usually very well constructed.
I still think it's the best 43% or not 43% whiskey in general. Period. Yeah, like that's made today, not historical, but today on the shelf still.
A lot of little pieces, like always.
Subtle
lemongrass, smoke, a soft wisp of smoke. Mm-hmm. An industrial town that's exceptionally clean. Mm-hmm. In some cities here in Columbus, when you build whatever it is, a Wendy's or a CVS, it has to be out of brick.
Okay.
It has to be out of certain aesthetic structure.
Yes.
It feels like perhaps smoke in a town like that.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's actually, because this is NAS, you expect on the nose maybe to get some off notes, but really nothing. It's extremely well put together.
I don't even smell alcohol. And it's 45%. It's not high alcohol, but...
It's subtle, soft, nuanced with 1,000 little things going on.
Yep.
Nothing jumping out other than there is distinct smoke notes. And there is a distinct sweet note up front that's a little... it's really inviting. I don't know how to explain it other than it's just an inviting sweetness.
I would say lemongrass meets a twinge of lime.
Lemongrass for sure. Lime's maybe going even too extreme.
A light furniture polish.
Yeah. Touch of dusty, kind of oak note.
If you've ever smelled a piano cleaned before.
Okay.
Like when everything's, I don't know if they oil it or whatever, the strings or whatever it is, but...
Yeah, there's a slight earthy oak note. Yeah, it's just... There's not much going on here, but it's very well done, and yet there is a lot going on here. It's like they blend, tons of casks to really get something really nice. So on the palate, Mike, the youth does come out. The lack of refinement does sort of shows up a little bit more. That said, nice smoke, nice sweetness, a little bit of that, lemongrass note. But there is sort of a bitiness to it that you don't expect at 45, and especially from a Japanese, where I think the youth note is definitely coming through. It's well constructed, and it's impressive because this is probably very young. That's why they dropped the age statement, and they went to super young so they could eventually get back to age statements. That's very classic Japanese of, if we can't make it right, we're just not going to do it. And so they went to this NAS, and it's enjoyable. I've been through a good chunk of this bottle, but I'm also kind of going, it doesn't quite hit the spots. What are you thinking?
There's a bit of harshness and unrefined on the end of it and on the sides of the tongue, right when you swallow. This is not typical of Japanese whiskeys, in my limited experience. It feels like a process that started out and did everything perfect, but had to end quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think it did. I think just, that was the plan with this one.
It did end quickly. They pulled it out of the barrels at a young age.
Right. Usually whiskeys are young, but, you can tell there's an overall. This really feels like the experience was chopped off where the plan was to go longer.
Yeah.
And it didn't. You know what I mean?
I'm with you 100%. I mean, you can tell this is going to be so good with more age.
The way it smells and the way it initially arrives is so indicative of what Japanese whiskeys usually are. I know the style. It's like music. I know the beats that Japanese whiskeys are usually trying to play, and how this ends It's just like they threw down, and started like grabbing like bass guitars. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like I don't like the way this ended.
This is a
was
Seiko.
abrupt.
This is the Seiko 5 when you want a Grand Seiko.
And the finish is, even for Japanese whiskey, thin and short, which they're thin and short whiskeys.
Yeah.
Finishes to begin with.
Well, I will say the smoke does linger a little bit longer than like a Yamazaki where it's just.
But then another peated whiskey though.
No, yeah.
Well, I mean,
As peated goes,
right?
it's short.
I mean, I understand the parts that are in this. For a peated whiskey, it's soft and it fades quickly.
And this does not need water. I'm not even going to bother with that, Mike.
No, it's too light as it is.
But yeah, it's good stuff. I wanted to bring this to the people just purely because I think it's an excellent base malt that needs age. Yeah.
Sadly.
So Mike, on that, what are you thinking on the score?
Disjointed. And it presents the elements I normally like in the whiskey in a light that I don't prefer them in. Mm-hmm. 85. I could go 84. My enjoyment's 84.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I almost wanted to go 84 just to go lower, but no, 85 is exactly what I had in my head.
Yeah.
It's got elements of 87, 88 whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
and then it abruptly has those disjointed notes that just ruin what's a beautiful nose. A nice smoky finish once you get past that like initial bitiness and funkiness. A nice arrival. Again, I'm super excited that they're back to putting out age statements. If I can get a hold of a 12, I'm probably going to even maybe go a little above retail if I have to.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, it bothers me that there wasn't really a lot of peat notes in the initial like nose and smell of it, but when the peat notes finally came in, those were the parts that were harsh and unpleasant. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I was looking forward to distinguish it from something else, and it was just whiskey that I won't be excited trying again.
Yeah, but again, it makes me very excited about the malt quality.
It has the right elements. It was just presented in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are our thoughts on the whiskey. If you guys had a chance to try this one, let us know what you guys think. Dustin, until next time, what do I wish the folks?
Happy future aged whiskey drinking.
See you
Does that
next
make
time.
sense?
No. Doesn't have to. Bye.